Welcome to my channel. This is Tarot Talks. We're going to go right into the eights of the minor arcana. The minor arcana eights are linked to the 8 major arcana card, which is strength. In numerology, we're talking about a number that embodies the drive for material gain. 8s are very much related to power and the need to be successful. And the lower essences would be the perversion of that power, being a bully, being greedy, being very cruel. So the planetary ruler of number 8 is Saturn, and those essences are very Saturnian. When I was thinking about it, I was like, wow, this really feels like the Devil card or the Capricorn, Saturn and Capricorn. That's what that feels like to me. But I really couldn't find a link in esoteric astrology. If you watched my 7s video, you'll know what I'm talking about. Esoteric astrology, you have your regular planetary rulerships of the signs, but then you also have a higher rulership of the signs. Leo, in no way doesn't mesh with Saturn. It's not, in esoteric astrology, Leo is one of the only signs who its regular ruler, the sun, is its higher ruler as well. So there's no link there. But the link for me is really through Kabbalah, where you have that feminine principle and that feminine essence, and learning that brute force really doesn't get anything done. World peace cannot be achieved through war. It's achieved through love. And you also, if you think the power a mother has, where the father gets so frustrated with the screaming child, and the mother, instead of wanting to yell or hit the child, has that nurturing sense and that calming feeling and gives the child love, which comes, even though she is frustrated, she knows how to use her power. So for me, it's that feminine, knowing how to use that feminine principle. Now, they say the 8s and 1, an 8 and a 1 is very interconnected, and you can see the interconnection in the cards with the Magician. And the Magician also has the infinity symbol over his head. In tarot, we call it the Lamniscate. And we're talking about the higher essence of 8 in numerology is the material and the spiritual world combined. So when you hit the 8 level, you become a new bitch. You become a new person, and you have a new way of bringing your light and your energy into the world, and you do it through humility and through strength, which is the strength card. And it's knowing how to use that strength. It's not brute force. It's knowing how, it's wisdom, because the Magician brings the above so below, his imagery with his hands, okay? And this brings the imagery with the consciousness of the mountains and the material plane, which is earth. Anytime you see blue mountains in the tarot, they're talking about consciousness and higher consciousness. So he has the understanding of higher consciousness, and he brings it through to the earth realm. But he doesn't have the wisdom yet. He has to go through the path of the Fool, which we'll talk about later when we do the minor arcana. We're going to talk about these concepts all over again. He has knowledge of the spiritual realm, but she brings wisdom because she spent time on earth. So she has that knowledge of the spiritual realm, and now she has the knowledge of the material realm, and she brings those two energies together, and that gives her the strength. Okay? So there's a lot to go over here. Try not to run out of time. Okay? So the 8 of Cups. This is Saturn in Pisces, Lord of Abandoned Success. It's the first decan of Pisces. February 19th is when Pisces begins. And this is where the water and the snow starts to seep into the earth and nourish the seed. There's a lot going on in the underworld and in the realms of the underworld where the seed is growing. So Pisces is very much related to the other world and very psychically connected. So when Saturn comes into Pisces, again, he is making Pisces a new bitch. This is esoterically where you get that light comes on, and you're like, what does this all mean? Why do I even care about this? This doesn't even matter anymore. And this is like an essence of material things being built, the gold cups in here. Not so much is there an essence of emotion, but it's an essence of being spiritually connected to yourself and realizing that this mission that you have been on and these things that you built, they don't even matter anymore because they're not in line with your spirit. Now, exoterically, the card could denote a breakup, leaving your house, abandoning everything, quitting school, just abandoning something that you have worked on for a while and just going on to something else. But spiritually, it's more about the higher purpose and realizing the higher purpose and the things that really matter, and then becoming that new bitch and turning your back on everything and going to live that new life in your higher purpose. And then we have 8 of Pentacles, first decan of Virgo. This is August 23rd to September 1st. This is Sun in Virgo, Lord of Prudence. Now, prudence means the care and cautiousness, good judgment and wisdom. And then if you look at the sevens where he became disenchanted with his work, this is where he, like, not like the other card, he doesn't want to abandon his work. He realizes that there's purpose in his work and there is a reason for pushing through, and he wants to see his work to its end and its goal, and he wants to see the fruits of his labor because he realized that his work matters. Now, in Sun in Virgo is going to give him the battery power to push on, and it's going to illuminate the higher purpose. Virgo is very, they think a lot and they analyze a lot and they chew everything up and they spit it out and then they figure it out. But this is where he looked at himself and the sun illuminated him and illuminated the illusions of 7, where he was becoming disenchanted, bored, just not interested anymore and wondering, why does it all matter? The sun came in and was like, hey, this is why it matters. It illuminated the purpose. So he did the work. He did that introspective work. He looked into himself and he realized that this is his higher purpose. He is in purpose. And sometimes on a spiritual path, you become very disenchanted because the world a lot of times is not easy for you. And you have to cut out your niche and find out where you fit in, because you weren't made to fit. You have to make yourself fit and then be an example for everyone else. Now, exoterically, this reading is like a graduation. This is a high level of apprenticeship. You're almost there. You're almost to mastery. You are about to see the benefits of your work and business. You're about to start seeing some income coming in. So these are some things you want to think of with 8s. 8s, there's a lot of stuff happening. There's a lot of work that's being done, but it's very spiritual in nature, esoterically, and it's about becoming that enlightened self, because the next step up is the Hermit, and the Hermit is godlike. 9 is the God number, and we'll talk about that later on in our series. It's actually really fascinating how 9 relates to 0. But I hope you guys enjoyed this. I will get to the second parts of the 8s maybe tomorrow. Like I said, my schedule's changed and I've become very busy. I'm back to work now. So if you have any questions, I'd love to talk to you guys about it. Give it a like, give it a share, learn something above all, and have a great day. I will see you guys tomorrow.